This video is sponsored by AG1. We'll discuss them more in detail later in the video. The number one spending trait of a frugal millionaire. They're not afraid to ask, how much is that? When I was young and didn't have much money, I thought people who asked, how much is that, were because they actually didn't have money. Rich people don't care to ask how much something is because they can afford anything and everything. Rich people don't look at price tags. Rich people don't flinch when someone tells them that this pair of socks cost $98. They just buy because they're rich. Well, I have learned with time and experience that this is a real foolish way to live life. Real rich people, wealthy people always want to know how much things cost. They're not afraid to ask how much something is because only fools would buy something without knowing how much something costs. And also because they are financially secure, they have true self-assurance. They're not insecure about their finances. They have the money to buy all the pairs of socks and more, but they also want to make sure they're spending their hard-earned money the best way possible. So don't think asking how much is that is something to be embarrassed about. It is what financially smart people do all the time. Number two spending trait of a frugal millionaire. In the line of not being afraid to ask the price, they're not afraid to walk away when the price is not right. Again, I thought rich, wealthy people didn't walk away from things. That was what poor people did because they couldn't afford it. However, I realize now, after having some experience under my belt, that truly wealthy individuals are always willing to walk away from a bad deal. And they do it gladly and confidently. They don't get pressured by the stubborn salesperson. They don't feel the need to buy it now before the deal runs out. And they don't need to impress random people on the street with how much money they're willing to spend. Thus, if the deal doesn't align, they're more than happy to walk away. Alright then, if frugal millionaires are willing to walk away from bad deals, what would they consider a good deal? Which leads to the next trait. The number three spending trait of a frugal millionaire. They seek maximum value. Frugal millionaires are always looking to maximize the value they're getting from the hard-earned money they're spending. They walk away because they don't believe that the product or the service offers good value for the amount of money they're spending. They ignore stubborn salespeople because they're focused on the value they're getting from the product rather than what the salesperson is saying. For me, I see myself doing this often with tech devices. There are a lot of tech devices on the market. Laptops, tablets, wireless headphones. And the price range on many of these devices range from super cheap to some would call very expensive. You can buy a tablet from a no-name brand for $100, or you can spend more than $1,000 for a top-of-the-line Apple iPad. Though I may be frugal about where I get my socks, I find tremendous value in using the highest quality tablet because they give me maximum value for my dollars. My iPad Pro I have had for over 4 years. And though I spent more than $1,000 when I first got it, because it works so well and I use it so often, I feel I'm getting maximum value for the money I spent. And speaking of maximum value, do you want to know what else gives you great value? Investment in foundational nutrition, which is why I'm excited to talk to you about today's video sponsor, AG1. Thank you AG1 for sponsoring today's video. If you watch any of my other videos, you know I'm a big advocate of taking care of our bodies. Health is true wealth. What is all the money in the world if we don't have our health to enjoy it? But taking care of our health is hard. Getting all the appropriate nutrition into our body is hard. That's why drinking AG1 as part of my morning routine has been so awesome. AG1 is a daily foundational nutrition supplement that supports whole body health. Instead of addressing one area of the body, foundational nutrition supplements further elevates our baseline health by supporting the essential and universal needs of our body, such as nutrient replenishment, gut optimization, immune support, and even stress management. I especially like how it supports my immune system by providing me with my daily dose of vitamin C, zinc, functional mushrooms, and more. And you get all this in one easy-to-drink serving. And AG1 takes their standards seriously. The AG1 team works hard to make AG1 the best they can by securing the purest sources they can find. They have a strict manufacturing and extensive testing processes that guarantee that AG1 is testing for 950 contaminants and impurities. Additionally, every batch is NSF certified for sports, the gold standard for those who must follow strict rules regarding the use of supplements. Finally, it tastes great. I know, you might have doubt looking at this, but try for yourself. It's actually quite sweet. So go to my link, drinkag1.com, take him, or scan the QR code to get your free welcome kit. The welcome kit includes a canister, a shaker, a year's supply of vitamin D3K2, and 5 extra travel packs of AG1. Alright, with that said, let's get back to the video. Number 4 spending trait of a frugal millionaire. In the line of seeking good value, they appreciate quality craftsmanship. Going back to my tablet example, I have used cheap tablets in the past. I won't name specific brand names, but there are tons out there. And if I can say a common theme among all of them, is that they just don't last. Either the batteries would drain out very quickly after a little use, or the tablet would just act glitchy after a few months. I would not only be frustrated because it wasn't doing what I wanted to do, I would spend so much of my time trying to troubleshoot it. Downloading this patch and that, being extra careful, trying not to overcharge the battery, constantly reformatting to the factory setting, hoping that would fix the issue. But all the efforts were either fruitless or a lost cause. There was no way to rectify a poor craftsmanship, no matter how hard I tried. But my $1,000 Apple iPad Pro, in the 4 years I've owned it, hasn't given me a single issue. I don't know tech devices that well, but from a user perspective, these iPads scream quality to me. No need to troubleshoot, functions well, and just overall reliable. Bottom line, frugal millionaires appreciate quality craftsmanship because they want to get the maximum value for every dollar they spend. Number 5 spending trait of a frugal millionaire. In the line of quality craftsmanship, another one of the reasons why frugal millionaires spend on quality is because they value time. Another high quality purchase that I really value is my Vitamix blender. I purchased my blender for $500 10 years ago. I know. $500 for a blender? Does it clean and cook as well? Well, no, but you know what it is best at? Blending. It is literally the best blender I've tried, and I have tried many. Many off-the-shelf blenders that cost less than $100. Now, they do work, but they often require troubleshooting. I throw in my frozen pineapple, oatmeals, greens, and ice into a blender with the hopes that it would just blend. But because the load is too heavy for that specific blender, it would jam. And I would have to shake it or remove some of the items and blend them separately in smaller chunks. And for someone that blends almost every day, these are valuable time I'm spending wrestling with my blender of all things. Frugal millionaires understand that time is one of the most valuable resources we have on earth. Thus, they willingly spend on things that save them more time. In addition to quality products like a $500 blender, I have personally spent money on grocery delivery or house cleaning because it gave me time back in the day. Number 6 spending trait of a frugal millionaire. In the line of quality and time, they appreciate quality information. Frugal millionaires understand the power of information and learning. Learning from quality information can level up their career capital and thus their earning potential. Invaluable knowledge can help them better manage their money and thus their investment portfolio and in turn their wealth. And quality information comes in many forms: books, conferences, or online training. For me personally, given I love reading, I'm actually quite price insensitive when it comes to quality books. If a book intrigues me, I'm all about getting it because if I can learn one piece of nugget that can improve my life, that $20 was totally worth it. I value quality information and I'm all about paying for it. Alright, we talked a lot about what frugal millionaires like to spend on: quality, time, information. But then what do they not want to spend money on? Number 7 spending trait of a frugal millionaire. They ruthlessly cut things out that do not bring value. Frugal millionaires have excellent self-awareness. They know what they value and, just as importantly, what they don't value. They know what brings them joy, but also what doesn't bring them joy. For example, my wife loves fashion. It brings her tremendous joy and she values clothes with high craftsmanship. So she happily spends on quality pieces of clothing. However, she also understands what doesn't bring her that much joy. Her car is a good example. She really does not care what car she drives as long as it takes her safely from point A to B. Name brands like Porsche, Range Rover, and BMW means nothing to her. They might as well be called purple, red, and blue for all she cares. She could barely tell them apart on the road. So she happily drives her paid-off 7-year-old Nissan Leaf to take her from point A to B. She has clearly identified what she values, clothes, and what she doesn't value, car. Thus, she is able to, in Ramit Sethi's word, spend extravagantly on the things that you love and cut costs mercilessly on the things that you don't. Before we go to the next section, a quick reminder that I created a free 1-page companion PDF guide to go along with this video. Pretty much everything I'm covering here in a simple to digest 1-page format. So if you'd like a free copy of this PDF, please go to the link I'll have in the description below. Number 8 spending trait of a frugal millionaire. They get really frustrated by cheap quality. Recently, as part of back to school shopping, I got some new headsets for my kids. Nowadays, given they do most of their homework on their iPads, a headset is a requirement. I thought the ones that was most popular from Amazon would be fine. So I bought them without thinking much of it. And they were fine for the first few weeks. My kids took them to school and they worked. But after a couple weeks, my daughter was complaining she couldn't hear that well. At first I thought she was just exaggerating. So like a good father, I dismissed it. But she kept mentioning it, so I decided to try it out myself. And yes, she was correct. I could only hear from one side. Even the side that I could hear from had a bit of static. And on top of that, one of the ear pads was coming loose. When I first got it, it worked fine. So I was frustrated by the fact that it was already falling apart after just a couple weeks. Yes, granted, I only paid $20 for this headset, so I don't have that much right to complain. But the frustration was real. We all get frustrated by cheap quality whether we like it or not. And frugal millionaires who really value time and high quality are no different. But to be honest, I'm on the fence on products like these though. On one hand, I'm frustrated by the fact that they fall apart so quickly. But on the other hand, it's hard for me to justify spending $100 on my kids' headphones. Let me know in the comments below how you guys personally approach situations like this. The number 9 spending trait of a frugal millionaire. They practice the 24-hour rule. Essentially, frugal millionaires minimize emotional spending by giving time between their desire to buy something and actually buying it. They either sleep on it or give it at least a day. This works especially well for medium-sized purchases. For me, things that cost more than $50 but less than around $300. The impulse to buy something now and right away happens to all of us. Most often, this is because some amazing and crafty marketing. You must get this yoga mat now. It will change your workout life. How about these new designer wear shoes? Only 5 left. Grab one now before it runs out. These new stainless pans? This once-in-a-lifetime sale is ending in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But frugal millionaires do not easily fall for these tricks. Again, they have really good self-awareness, so they want to get maximum value from every dollar they spend. Thus, if they catch themselves being emotional about a purchase, they execute the 24-hour rule and sleep on it. And if for whatever reason the original deal is no longer available, then be it. I'm sure it'll come around again later. Number 10 spending trait of a frugal millionaire. In the line of 24-hour rule, they practice the 24-day rule. I made this 24-day up, but the principle is the same as the 24-hour rule. Just think bigger, more expensive purchases. Think of a car, an expensive vacation, or a home purchase. Most people's finances are primarily driven by big expenses. An expensive car, an expensive home, an expensive lifestyle habit. If 50% of our paycheck is going towards the home mortgage and we're paying $1,500 monthly on a car payment, it doesn't matter how many lattes we cut back on or how many coupons we use to save $10 in that toilet paper. The small cost savings won't make any difference because the big expenses are what is really driving our finances. Therefore, it is crucial that we give time and space to really think through our big purchases. We need to give ourselves the time to properly research, to emotionally reflect, and measure it against our values. How will this purchase impact our budget? Does it align with our values, our long-term goals? We can't have it all despite how much we want to. So how does this big expense fit into our life? Whenever my wife and I are in the market for a car, I normally spend about 3 months researching the purchase, the exact model, the functionality, and the price. We plan on keeping the car for as long as possible, so we want to make sure the purchase aligns with our life and money goals. The number 11 spending trait of a frugal millionaire. They meticulously track their spending. They have a really good grasp of how much their lifestyle costs, how much they spend on eating out, how much their housing costs, how much they're spending on insurance. Now, this is not the funnest activity, and many people shy away from it. However, it is crucial. When we don't have good information, we can't make good decisions. As a former Army intelligence officer, my whole job in the Army was to provide good quality of information to our field commanders. I took my job very seriously because the success and the failure of many missions were reliant upon having good information to begin with. In the same way, when it comes to our finances, when we have a good understanding of how much everything costs, we're able to make good decisions based on that information. We can cut back on subscriptions that doesn't bring us the best value. We can renegotiate our insurance premium because it's taking on a bigger chunk of our paycheck than we originally thought. Or vice versa. We can spend more on areas that bring us the most value and joy. Number 20 spending trait of a frugal millionaire. In the line of being meticulous, they meticulously plan. They plan out their spending, they plan out their retirement, they plan out their life. For example, think of vacations. Frugal millionaires, if they value vacations, don't shy away from spending thousands of dollars so that the family can make great memories together. However, they don't just aimlessly do it. They approach it with a meticulous plan. In order to make quality, priceless memories, they seek to understand how much everything costs and meticulously plan how much they plan on spending during the vacation, the hotel, entertainment, food, etc. This allows them to truly enjoy the experience with the peace of mind rather than doing what most people do. Swipe first and worry later. Thank you guys for watching the line of frugal spending. If you want to learn more about how to be frugal, yet still look fabulous, please check out my video here. Until next time, all the best.